I'm standing in front of two doors. Behind one door is a version of me at 65 with $1.2 million. Behind the other door is a version of me at 65 with $47,000. Still working, still tired, still wondering what went wrong. Same salary, same city, same rent, same everything. The only difference between those two versions of me is one decision. One. And it's not the decision you think it is. It's not about earning more. It's not about finding the right stock. It's not about crypto or real estate or some strategy a guy on the internet is selling. It's about timing. Specifically, which happens first? You spending money or your future getting money. That's it. That is the entire thing. And right now, today, most people watching this are doing it in the wrong order. Not because they're bad with money, because nobody told them what that wrong order actually costs. So let me tell you. Let me show you the exact math. Let me show you the trap by name, and then let me show you how to walk out of it. Because the version of you at 65 with $1.2 million, that person didn't earn more than the version with $47,000. They just did one thing differently, at one specific moment. Every single paycheck. I'm going to name the trap. I'm going to show you the numbers. And at the end of this, you're going to take a one-question test that tells you exactly where you stand. No ambiguity, no gray area. You're either in or you're out. And if you're out, I'll show you how to fix it before this video ends. Let's start with a story. A version of me about 8 years ago who had a plan. A beautiful, detailed, completely useless plan. I was 27. I had just gotten my first real job, $65,000 a year, which felt enormous at the time. I remember thinking, okay, this is it. This is when I start building. So I sat down. I made a budget. I listed every single expense. Rent, food, car, utilities, subscriptions. And at the very bottom, I put a line. Savings, $400 a month. The math worked perfectly on paper. The budget balanced. Future Steve was going to be rich. Present Steve felt very responsible. I closed the laptop feeling like I had solved money. And then I got paid. And I paid rent, and groceries, and the car. And then a friend had a birthday dinner. And then my laptop died. And then it was end of month. The Federal Reserve just released data showing 56% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency. But here's what nobody talks about. 71% of those people earn over $50,000 a year. Income isn't the problem. I was one of them, and I had the spreadsheet to prove it. Month 1, saved $31, not $400, $31. But I told myself it was a bad month, unusual expenses. Next month would be different. Next month, I'd hit the $400. Month 2, $0. Month 3, $47. Month 4, $0. The pattern was screaming at me. I was not hearing it. The spreadsheet still said $400. The spreadsheet was a liar. What was happening, and I did not understand this yet, is that I was treating savings as a destination for whatever was left over. Not as a bill, not as a fixed obligation, as a hope. And hope does not compound at 7% annually. Hope does not turn into $1,200,147 over 30 years. Hope just sits there at the bottom of the budget looking sad while everything else takes its cut first. I had a spreadsheet, color-coded, beautiful. I called it the plan. The plan had a section called Savings. The savings section had $0 in it for 14 months straight. But the spreadsheet was gorgeous. Seriously. Conditional formatting. Little green cells when I was on track. The cells were never green, but they were so pretty when I imagined them being green. Here's the thing about the way I was doing it. It has a name. I didn't know the name then. I know it now. It's called the leftover trap. And 78% of working Americans are in it right now. Not because they're irresponsible, not because they don't care, because the entire financial system is built around a sequence that guarantees leftovers don't exist by the time you look for them. Your employer pays you, your landlord takes their cut, your utility company takes theirs, your car payment takes its piece, Amazon takes a little, DoorDash takes a little more. By the time you reach the savings line at the bottom of the budget, everyone else has already been paid. And the leftover, if there is one, is supposed to fund your entire future. That's the trap. That's it. In a moment, I'm going to show you two people with the exact same $65,000 salary. Same city, same expenses. One retires with $1.2 million, One retires with $47,000. The difference takes 3 seconds to explain. But first you need to see how you got trapped. If this is clicking, hit subscribe. I do this every week and next week might matter just as much as today. Let me describe the trap from the inside so you can feel it, not just hear it. You get paid. You feel okay, maybe even good. You pay the bills you have to pay. You buy the groceries you need. Something comes up, always something comes up, and you handle it because that's what adults do. You get to the end of the pay period. You check the account. There's a little there maybe, not $400, not what you planned. You think, next paycheck, I'll catch up. Next paycheck arrives. The same thing happens. It doesn't feel like a crisis, it feels like normal. And that is the most dangerous part. Normal is the trap. Normal is how you end up at 65 with $47,000. The average person in the leftover trap intends to save $400 a month. Intends. The actual average they save is $31, not $400. $31. The gap between intention and reality is $369 per paycheck. That gap doesn't feel like 369s. It feels like life. It feels like things came up. It feels reasonable. But over 30 years, that gap is the entire difference between $1.2 million and $47,000. Let that sit for a second. $369 a month. That's the price of the retirement you're not having. And here's the part that nobody tells you. It's not a willpower problem. It's not a discipline problem. It's a sequencing problem. The money is moving in the wrong order. That's it. That's literally it. The system isn't broken. The system is working exactly as designed. For everyone except you. Let me show you whose benefit that design serves. Stop. Before I show you the numbers, I need you to pull up your bank account right now. Look at your last payday deposit. Now look at what left your account in the first 48 hours. I'll wait. Seriously. Look at the sequence. Who got paid first? Was it you, or was it everyone else? What you just looked at is the blueprint of the trap. Every debit in those first 48 hours is someone who got paid before your future did. Rent, insurance, subscriptions. All of them moved first. Your landlord doesn't wait to see if there's anything left. Your car payment doesn't ask how the month went. They get their money on a specific day, automatically, no negotiation. Future you, on the other hand, gets whatever's left, if there's anything left. Future you has no automatic transfer, no fixed date, no guaranteed cut. Future you is politely hoping everyone else leaves something behind. The math on this is brutal. $31 a month invested at 7% over 30 years is $37,000, not $37 million, not $370,000, $37,000. That's what hope saves. $400 a month at 7% over those same 30 years? That's 1,200 out of 47. The math doesn't care about your intentions. It only compounds what actually moves. Okay, so here's what's actually happening. Here's the name of the thing. I want you to hear this clearly because once you hear it, you can't unhear it. The leftover trap. That's what this is. You earn money. You spend money. You invest whatever is left over. The trap is the word leftover, because in practice, leftover means nothing. Not because you're reckless, because human spending expands to fill available money. It's not a character flaw. It's psychology. Every economist knows this. Every credit card company knows this. The bank knows this. You were just never told. If there is $600 in your account, you will find a way to spend somewhere between $580 and $620 before the next paycheck. Not because you're bad, because that's what humans do when money is visible and accessible. Remember when I said this decision takes 3 seconds? Here it is. Money moves before you see it, or money moves after you spend. That's it. That's the entire difference between 7 figures and financial invisibility. And listen, the system is designed perfectly. You pay your landlord first, you pay the electric company first, you pay Netflix first, you pay the guy who made your burrito first, then you look at what's left and think, weird, there's nothing here for future me. Almost like everyone got paid except the one person who actually has to live with the consequences. The opposite of the leftover trap has a name too. Pay yourself first. You've probably heard those 3 words. They're not new. But most people hear them and think it's a mindset thing, a motivation thing. It's not. It's a mechanics thing. It's a sequencing thing. It means before rent, before groceries, before anything, your investment account gets its cut, automatically, on payday, before you see the money. When money moves before you see it, The psychology flips. You can't spend what isn't there. Your brain adjusts to the lower number. You figure out rent and groceries with what remains. Because you always do. Because you have to. Let me show you this with two specific people. Same $65,000 salary, same city, same expenses on paper. Different sequence. Different outcome by a factor of 25. Person A gets paid, pays bills, lives life, saves whatever's left, intends $400, actually saves $31 per month on average. At 7% over 30 years, $47,230. Enough to cover about 2 years of basic expenses. Then what? Person B gets paid. $400 moves automatically to investments the same day, then pays bills, lives life. No decision required. No willpower required. No spreadsheet required. At 7% over 30 years, $200,847. $1,200,847 versus $47,230. Same income, same 30 years, same 7% market return, different sequence. The difference isn't talent, isn't luck, isn't a secret investment. It's the order of 360 seconds on payday. That's how much time it takes to set up an automatic transfer. Person B isn't more disciplined than Person A. Person B just removed discipline from the equation entirely. The system does it. The automation does it. Person B just set it up once and let it run. In 60 seconds, I'm going to give you a test. One question. It will tell you immediately, no ambiguity, whether you're currently qualified or disqualified. And if you're disqualified, I'll show you how to fix it before this video ends. But first, let me show you why this trap is specifically designed to feel invisible. The leftover trap is invisible because it never looks like failure in the moment. Every individual month feels justifiable. The car repair was real. The birthday was real. The bad month was real. The trap doesn't announce itself. It doesn't show up on a credit report. It doesn't trigger an overdraft. It just quietly, invisibly, compounds nothing for 30 years while you're busy living. And then one day, you're 65. And the account says $47,230, and you do the math. And you realize the trap was never a single bad decision. It was 14,000 little non-decisions, all pointing the same direction. That's the real cost of leftover thinking. Not 1 month of saving $31 instead of $400. The compounding of that shortfall, every single month, for decades. Here's the thing about compounding that nobody really sits with. It's not just your money growing, it's the absence of money growing too. Every month you don't invest, that month compounds into nothing for 30 years. A single month's $400 that never gets invested at age 35 isn't $400 you missed. At 7% by age 65, that single month is $3,045 you never had. Every single month for 30 years. The trap isn't expensive 1 month at a time. It's catastrophic across a lifetime. That's the math the spreadsheet never shows you. So how do you escape it? How do you become Person B? It starts with one thing. Your investment account stops being a savings destination and becomes a bill. A fixed bill. That gets paid first. Not the last bill. The first bill. Before rent, before groceries, before anything. Future. You gets paid, and it happens automatically on payday, without a decision, without willpower, without a beautiful color-coded spreadsheet. Here's the test. One question. Is there an automatic transfer set up to move money into investments? On the day you get paid? Before you can spend anything? Yes or no? If you hesitated, you already know the answer. If you said yes, stay with me. There's still a chance you're in the trap without knowing it. If you said no, good. Honest is the first step. Now let me show you exactly what to do. This is where it turns into action. If you want the rest, stick around. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is actually the moment. The fix is not complicated. I want to say that clearly because everything in personal finance has been overcomplicated by people who benefit from you being confused. This is not complicated. Step 1. Open a brokerage account or a retirement account if you don't have one. Fidelity, Vanguard, Schwab. Any of them work. If your employer has a 401k, even better. Start there. Step 2. Set up an automatic transfer. The exact amount matters less than the automation. You can start with $25. I'm serious. $25 automatically on payday beats $400 on the leftover system every single time, because $25 that always moves builds the habit, the structure, and the psychology. Your brain learns to live on the remaining amount, and you increase it over time. But you can't increase a system that doesn't exist. Step 3. The transfer happens the same day as your paycheck. Same day. Not 2 days after. Not when you remember. The same day. Set the date in the transfer settings to match your pay date exactly. That's it. 3 steps. 1 account, 1 automatic transfer, 1 match date. That's the entire architecture of the $1.2 million version of you versus the $47,000 version. Sequence is everything. Now, I said if you answered yes to the test, you might still be in the trap. Here's the check. Is the automatic transfer actually going into investments? An index fund? A retirement account? Something that compounds? Or is it sitting in a savings account at 0.01% interest? Because transferring money automatically into a savings account that earns essentially nothing is a better habit than the leftover trap, but it's not the same as investing. The 7% return is the engine. The automatic transfer is just putting gas in it. A broad index fund. That's it. You don't need to pick stocks. You don't need to research companies. Total market index fund. Set it. Let it run for 30 years. That's the vehicle that turns $400 a month into $1.2 million. And here's what happens to your life when the automatic transfer exists. Nothing dramatic. That's the point. Your rent still gets paid. You still eat. You still live. You just don't have to think about your future every month because it's already funded. The quiet part of pay yourself first that nobody talks about. It actually reduces financial anxiety. When you know the most important transfer already happened, everything else is just details, not crises, details. I remember the first month I set up the automatic transfer. I was terrified I'd run short. I was convinced the math wouldn't work. And then it just worked. I adjusted. I spent a little less on stuff that didn't matter. Future Steve was finally on the payroll. 78% of workers are still in the leftover trap, which means if you set up that automatic transfer today, you are immediately in the minority. Not because you earned more, because you changed the sequence. Remember those 2 doors I was standing in front of? One version of me at 65 with $1.2 million, one with $47,000, still working, still tired, still wondering what went wrong? The door you walk through isn't chosen at 65, it's chosen today. On payday, before you spend anything. The leftover trap doesn't ask permission. It doesn't announce itself. It just works quietly in the background of every paycheck, every month, every year, until there's nothing left to compound. The automatic transfer is the only thing that beats it. Set it up. Today. Before this video ends. Future you is waiting.